Going for gold. We're on.
Oh, yeah. So for the first time, Oscar Mac gave me these. I'm going to try these licorice Ernest Hiller premium Australian chocolates.
I saw that, and it's, to me, that red liquor ice. I was like, iced liquor, good.
It's not that.
It's not
But
that.
it is very good. Shout out Oscar Mac. That was I like that. I can jam on that during the podcast. So that's what I'll be chewing on. If you hear me chewing, that is what I'm chewing on.
Attractive.
How you going, Jarran?
I am pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, keeping well, doing the things. How about the weather, huh? How about that weather? It's so hot.
It's only the start of summer and it's already been like 38 degrees, 43 degrees, 37 degrees.
Wait, you guys had an over 40 day?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, crazy. Did it end in a storm?
No. It like gets on the verge of drizzling and then it goes and then it just doesn't.
Damn. Those days are not fun. Those days are not fun at all. How are you going? What you up
Mate,
to?
I am good. Other than the heat wave being apparent, I've been very good. I've been getting lots of training in, which is great. I feel like I've had a very solid month of training in total. Winding down the month. Last day of November. Shit, there's only 1 month of 2020 left. Being in Australia most of it. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm tanned because I'm in the sun. Oh, okay. Let's start with the obvious thing. So I got my hair cut. Some of you might have seen online, which was a debacle.
Dude, I've been talking to you for the last half hour and have just been like, I didn't notice. I just
you can't really tell from the front now because it's grown out for a few days. My hair grows really fast, so after the story, you'll understand. Okay, you could tie it back after a few days. Not that bad, but it was like the longest process I've ever gotten for a haircut, and I didn't even get in the end, my hair was cut incorrectly. But whatever, I'm not one to be sour about things. It was just a hilarious adventure. So I leave my house at 20 past 10 in the morning, and I'm getting picked up by my friend at 11:30. I'm like, cool, easy. And I'm really sleepy, really tired. I go to the local barber shop, and he seems really sleepy and tired too. He's almost asleep in the chair when I get there. And so he starts cutting my hair. He takes ages to do the sides and the trimming on the the edges and stuff. And then I kind of start drifting off as he starts doing my hair. And I'm drifting off a little bit, just thinking. And he's somehow cutting my hair 10 strands at a time. He'd get this much out and then be like, okay.
Yeah, right.
And then the next 10 strands like that. And so I'm kind of just chilling, and then I look at the time and it's 10 past 11. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is taking a really long time. Oh, he's towards the back now. Maybe it'll be all right. So I waited another 20 minutes. I'm super patient in those situations. I text my friend, I was like, yeah, Kian, I'm going to be another half an hour. Sorry, man, just in the hairdresser for a long time. And then at 11:30, this guy's still going on my hair. And I'm like, dude, I need to leave in 10 minutes, man. Is that okay? He's like, oh, sorry, I've been going really slow. And he just kind of finished off, tied my hair up, tied back good. And then I left. And then I came home, I let my hair out, and I'll pull my hair out now for 1 sec. So basically it's this length now. Ugh. And so it was this length at the front, and then the back here had just been left from here down was just left like a back mullet or something. It was
you had a mullet.
But it wasn't even a mullet. It was a layered, I had a bob on the front and then an under mullet or something like that. It was crazy, man. I was usually I'm not one to be fussy about my hair. You know what I mean? I'm if you cut size back, it's all good. But it was really weird. It just looked wrong. And then when I tried to grab it, the parts of the front didn't grab, and then it would tie back. So I'm God, I'm going to screw it. I'm going to go get my hair cut at this other place. So I've already spent $35. I've already been in the chair for an hour and a half. And then I'm I'll just go to this other place. So go to the other place, explain to the guy, okay, I've had the haircut, it's calf cut. You can see the layer that he's cut at, I want that length all the way around. And the guy's like, sweet as. And he's like taking lots of like volume out of my hair. Like he was really doing like the thinning out.
Yeah, the thinning thing.
Because he's like, wow, I've never had like such thick hair, man. This is like crazy. You have so much hair. I was like, yeah. And then he thinned it out so much that it looked really nice when it was sitting down. It was like sitting out like to this length here around the whole back and stuff. And, you know, he was like styling it a bit. And he's like, oh, it looks good. Like, you know, I'm like, man, this is the first time I've been comfortable in ages with my hair out. Because usually it just like fucking sits like this.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, sweet as, man. Thank you so much. And I just left and I was like, I'll just wear my hair out for the day. And then I went home and I went to tie my hair back when I was sitting on the couch. And I was like, shit, I can't even tie my hair back. Like there's not enough. There's like some that are long enough, but they're like a really small amount, like really thin hair, like, and the bun's like the size of my pinky. So basically I spent 2 and a bit hours in 2 different chairs, spent $70 to get a haircut that was too short.
This is why I keep my hair short.
Man, the guy at the second store was like, yeah, you're not even like upset about it or anything. I'm like, yeah, I mean, like, what? Like, what are we gonna do, man? It'll grow back. It's just not worried about being upset about it. But it was an ordeal just to get my hair cut.
Yeah,
like,
I'm guessing you're upset about the time wasted. I'd be upset about the time wasted.
Yeah, a little bit. I wasn't so much upset about the time wasted. I was upset that like I don't take the time often to go get my hair cut. Usually Saturday I just do it at home, which is like, yeah, cool, lovely, looks great, 10-minute job. And so when I was like, okay, I really want to get my hair cut so that I feel like nice about it going into summer, like it's gonna be cool, like cool temperature wise, not cool like and I'm gonna have like a better time sleeping and all those sorts of things. And then it was just such an ordeal to get it done. Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like when something is just really is much more of a process than you anticipated it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you've just got to bear with it.
Like a super mission.
Yeah. Super mission for something that shouldn't really be a mission at all. At the end of the day, it's a very minor activity going to get your hair cut.
Yeah. But your hair is your thing now. So you gotta.
It's not my thing.
It's your thing. You're like,
do whatever I want. I just like it. I like the man bun. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not my thing.
You should do
I'm bigger than my hair.
You should do like fucking side, like either side cornrows, like, or just go full hipster and just shave the sides.
Well, in LA, when I was with Team Parade, I got my hair done in cornrows, thinking I'm in LA, this will make me look gangster. I'll look pretty thug. And then I literally got come on to like by 3 different gay baristas at Starbucks. They're like, hey, how you doing, buddy? Right, and like, give me like love hearts and like, ask for my number at one point. I was like, no, man.
That's really funny.
It gave off the wrong vibes. It was not gangster in the slightest.
It wasn't Viking either.
No, I must look really pretty though, so I'll take that.
Oh, you're pretty, Dom. You're the prettiest.
A minute.
Yeah.
No, stop.
Nah. Man, we got so much to like talk about.
Yeah, so much, bro.
We've been doing stuff.
I feel like it's been a fairly productive week on my end. So we, in the previous podcast, talked about the possibility of me starting a join, which was like the equivalent of, I guess, a secondary monetized YouTube channel. When I looked further into it, it wasn't so much like a standalone membership page. It's actually attached to YouTube.
And that means that YouTube still controls it, yeah?
I guess so, in a certain way. I haven't really thought about it. I didn't really think that far into it, but that's something I'd have to ask the boys.
Yeah, they'd be like, haha, we own you.
Yeah, because would it be held to the same standard as YouTube guidelines and stuff like that? Would you have to still not swear and, make sure that you dial back the blah, blah, blah legality of the content if you're trespassing and all those sorts of things?
Yeah.
I wonder if it would have the same kind of template around it if it's run by the same people. But I didn't think that option was my best option because my main platform isn't YouTube, it's Instagram. I feel like promoting on a platform where you need to be on the YouTube video to click that join button. So it doesn't make sense because I would only be getting a certain amount of views per week on those YouTube videos. So for me, what I've discovered is Patreon seems to be the best way to go about that. So it can start, multiple tiers of different things. And that way I know that I can bring people different levels of different content for their levels of commitment or support. So it's not so much like, just give me money and that's it. Like there's definitely advantages and like access avenues to me and like a more kind of in-depth relationship through something like Patreon. And I'm more about like my community and supporting those who support me and trying to see all of us grow together. So that one really stood out to me as the one that I could do that the best.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. And that's something that I think's really good because so many people want your attention.
Yeah, I mean, I want my attention is so like a overgeneralization.
Want to connect.
But yeah, that there is that aspect too, and also I think a lot of people would be willing to support me in creating some kind of like financial security and independence to take those next steps.
But also just
moving forward.
It's fun, like getting the extra stuff.
Well, yeah, I'd rather bring it to those people who directly care about and are passionate about what I do, rather than trying to expand to all these other people who might just kind of come in for a touch base or that sort of thing. I want to grow those who are interested in movement, parkour, and just generally like, if it be social media or achieving their passion, that sort of thing there is what's appealing to me. So I want to connect more with those people than necessarily worry about getting another 2 million followers on Instagram like that. I feel like the exponential growth there and attention that will be brought to parkour and free running is already there and will still continue to do that. So now it's time to kind of figure out what I can monetize in my world and bring back to those who are closer in the support network. The inner circle.
Yeah. Sounds exciting.
Team Tomato. So yeah, it's been a lot of admin and a lot of stuff that I'm not usually that inclined to do. I actually took the day of training to do that sort of stuff and focus on that. And on the other side of that, Saturday has been working day and night recently to launch merchandise. So we have the artworks and all the bits and pieces coming together. We have some mock-ups done and it's in the pipeline. So by end of year, you guys should be able to get some Tomato merchandise.
Are you doing that up front, or are you going to have a fulfillment people?
I didn't understand the question.
Are you gonna get a whole bunch of shit manufactured, or are you going to have someone manufacture 2 orders?
That's not my department.
Oh yeah.
We'll have to have the expert in.
Conversation for a different time.
I think once we get it all underway, I'd love to have Saturday on to explain how everything in the Dom Tomato Company brand would be working at that stage.
Yeah, of course.
So that people can have that transparency as well. Because also I want to be able to show other creators the steps on the journey. And like for me, this is still very step one, early days. So if it does go anywhere, then people can kind of see what recipe ingredients went into it and how it was formulated. And then we can give some insight from how it's all going along and how it's all running along.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I just saw the designs and the designs look cool.
Here is a pixelated thing on my phone of one of the designs. Yeah.
It's like pixelated picture through the potato. So yeah.
Here's another one. Just sneak preview for you people out there.
Boom. That was definitely one of my favorites. I really like that design.
And this one here, do myself. Yeah. So as you can tell, the designs are based around tomatoes and jumping, which I feel like is the Dom Tomato brand in a nutshell. Unintentionally tomatoes, but that's just what's become of it. It's what you guys want. It's what the people ask
Yeah,
for.
they want to see splats. They want tomatoes. The amount of like little tomato emojis that come up on the chat.
Mm-hmm.
They love that. They love the little things.
I mean, it's cool that there's been a way for me to, like, when I made it, it was just for the ease of saying it because Tommaso was less catchy on the tongue. But it's cool that it's kind of led to this
Dude, I still can't.
random.
I still cannot spell your name.
Yeah,
I would like.
'cause you're illiterate.
It's like I'll have to do something like maybe it will be a flight ticket or something that I need to actually get your name right, and I'm like, shit, man. Is it 2 M's? Is it 2 S's? What am I doing here?
How many A's? How many O's? What's going on? Yeah, it's an Italian last name. What can I say?
It's what happens.
But the other reason that I haven't been training today is I actually had to take a little rest because I've been getting like, it's not a shin splint because I've had shin splints before, and it's not this. But whatever this is, I've got like a bunch. So whatever the muscle is next to your shin,
Your posterior tibialis.
posterior tibia. My posterior tibialis has like some crazy inflammation going on.
Like the one that you can push in kind of under the outside of your shin?
Yeah, on the outside side.
Yeah, it's on the outside.
You can push in
Pretty sure
before it gets to your calf.
Yeah, I believe that's your posterior tibialis. And yeah, that can hurt. That
Mate,
can really
it is
hurt
screaming.
sometimes.
Like, I can't walk 200 meters without having to stop and stretch it the other way right now. I don't even know what I did as well, just like other than jumping off it a lot. There wasn't anything specific like where I did a certain move or something that loaded it. It just was touchy and then got worse and now is inflamed.
Trying to figure out where it comes down from. Like, is it an ankle thing coming up from the ankle, or is it actually from yeah.
Right
or is it
there
coming
on my leg.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, because it's probably radiating from either your ankle or down from your knee. Could be ITB.
I think it is ITB and
I
hip.
don't know. Let's see where the guy
It could be ITB and hip, but I think it's maybe because it's coming from both ends, because I've been overloading my ankles with impact this month. When I look back at the video, I was like, what the hell? Like, I don't know what's taken more impact, my hip or my shoulder. I'm sorry, my ankles or my shoulder.
Yeah, right.
All right, what we got here?
All right, so
Anterior. Tibialis anterior is what's killing me.
right. Just trying to find a good old thing of it. Oh yeah.
Bottom right.
This guy.
Yeah.
I was looking at that, but didn't want you to be right.
Blow it up. It is the right leg, Jarran. Well done. There it is.
There he is. Look at him go.
So yeah, you know how that guy looks like a massive muscle right now?
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, right.
It's like it's been doing. So where does that connect to on the foot actually?
So on the foot, it's actually coming down into your instep.
Okay.
So like that's coming down, and that is actually reinforcing your arch.
Because wherever the number 2 is, that I get also like, if I press over the number 2, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so that could actually be, see these bands?
Mm-hmm.
These bands are ligaments, kind of, we're just kind of wrapped up in glad wrap. And so those bands can sometimes get inflamed, and they basically, if you see these guys, why am I pointing at it with my actual hand?
I don't know.
So these little guys flex your toes up, and then this stops them just flinging up, and so that's what keeps your ankle there, and is able to do that.
Oh, okay,
So if there's inflammation on like that number 2 ligaments, that's gonna suck. But
yes, I think it's an over ITB load from a previous month plus a foot whatever you just said,
Yeah.
inflammation in the ligaments there. And so, yeah, kids, that hurts, and will slow your training down. Funnily enough, it's actually after and before training, it's really bad. And then I'll like put the muscle gun into it, or I'll just like kick my foot around a bit.
How
And then
good
once
are
I start
muscle
running and
guns?
jumping, it just leaves me alone.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
I seriously just love that.
Mhm.
Love the muscle guns. Loved them so much. I recently taken to chasing my girlfriend with one, because she loves muscle guns too. No, she fucking hates it.
They are very, very, very good.
Yeah.
But I find that if you use them, so here's my thing with muscle guns. I think they're only 1 second. Enjoying this licorice. Shout out Oscar Mac. So muscle guns are great, but if you use them for everyday tension, like just general soreness that you should be kind of stretching out, then you're gonna, what I think, build up like a resistance. So your collagen buildups will form faster because they're used to just getting beaten out.
Yeah.
Whereas if you use it only in times of like extreme tension to beat the muscle, basically beat that collagen back out to a place where you can then stretch it and do mobility, that's where they're like super, super good, is for that extra intense, really deep tissue shit that you've basically done abuse to get it to that stage. That's where they're like primo, in my opinion.
Have you got the attachment that's like for super sore muscles, and it's like you have the thing and then it's like a little squishy bit?
I personally still don't have one of my own because
you're still using Kadori's?
Yeah, I'm still using Michael's because the one that I'm receiving is on a crate on a ship on the way here.
Ah, yes. That's
So,
happening with
sailing.
a lot of things.
Sailing's so much fun. It's actually just going on a yacht tour around the world before it stops over here, just to get some like scenic photos and like, stop at Bora Bora, do all the touristy things. The muscle gun has a real like personality, bro.
I actually don't know where Bora Bora is. Like,
I don't know.
But cool.
It's Bora Bora, Jane. It's what Triple X wants to go to.
Yeah. That's the only reference I know from it as well.
Yes, sweet. So you were picking up what I was putting down.
Yeah, I'm just like,
basically Vin Diesel.
Bora Bora.
Bora Bora.
What was I gonna say? Warming up. I find it good for warming up. Like when you're super just like, you're just like, and you just got cobwebs. You're just like, all right, I'm just gonna run the gun over my muscles a few times. You're like, all right, well I can at least move.
What you call cobwebs, I call rush.
Same thing. Yeah.
When you wake up and you feel a bit rusty, you're like,
Yeah.
Man, 18-year-olds do not know what that is.
But they will.
Unless they die.
Unless they die. But not yet. Not yet, kids.
Well, I guess we should give a little shout out to our latest release. So Team Farang, my team has released a new clothing collection. You may have seen the video, you may have not.
Well, we're watching the video now.
All right.
You can talk over it. You can direct us commentary.
So, I mean, what was really cool about this is that we're all in different countries, but we were still able to make a really, in my opinion, fantastic group video where it gave out the whole vibe of Team Farang, the clothing, and just like us as a unit. I mean, Jason essentially just said they shoot two action lines, and I think all of us kind of shot these extra little inserts and stuff like that along the way, just as you naturally would. As I said that to Carl, and he said, as any kind of filmmaker or like video maker would, you send extra juice for your editor. So it's really cool that it came together like this, and I think it's been a huge success in terms of like a video response. We've really seemed to have a really positive kind of return on how people feel about the clothing, about the team, about the designs. And
Hanan must have been so hot in that. right then?
Yeah,
'Cause I'm
in the
guessing,
anorak on the roof.
yeah, I'm guessing that he's in Thailand, yeah?
Yes, he's in Bangkok. That's one of the funniest things about Team Farang is that often we're in Bangkok or somewhere with a hotter climate when we do shoot our winter releases. And
Of
so we're
course,
shooting
of
these
course.
winter releases on white walls in 42-degree heat, like just absolutely dying in the sunshine. Like I take off the clothes in between takes because if I was to wear them all day, they wouldn't look presentable by
You are
the end
such
of.
a sweaty boy.
Yeah, I mean, I found that even working on a recent production, I couldn't keep my costume completely on the whole time because I just would have ruined it.
All right, so I'm actually looking at this. Wait, someone's spamming, motherfucker. I am looking at the thing, and they've already pinged us for copyright on this.
On this video?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you should just take off the audio completely.
Little.
Yeah, you bastard.
Yeah.
That's on Jarran's end, people. He should have just known to take the audio off. Next time he'll do better. It's okay. Zen is the coolest. If I knew how to do like parkour and freedom like Zen, I would. He basically just runs up to stuff, touches it, and then does hectic trick, and then runs up to another thing, touches it, and does hectic trick. Even in his other like Tempest freerunning competition online runs and stuff like that, and his what was a Fig parkour online. It's like he does so much running in his lines, which is so cool. I can't get and his steps are so perfectly spaced. I just can't get away with that. I believe Jason learnt calligraphy over the last few years.
Just to do that?
Not just to do that, but just as like, one of his quirky art forms that he likes to follow. I may be wrong, but yeah, I actually believe.
No, that's really cool.
He had a calligraphy set and was working on calligraphy for quite a while before, doing that design there.
Well, that's the thing is that when things are too perfect, because they can be nowadays, then you need to go backwards. You need to go, all right, things are handwritten and things have that human element again.
Well, that's one of the things that I think has been done really well is like the rawness of this this collection. Everything's either like bold and simplistic, or it's like spaced out and pieced together really well, without being like overbearing and too bold. I think we've had a few pieces like the Farang shorts that had the big logos on them that, for me personally, were too bold to wear consistently. But this one speaks like, it's got enough that it's punchy, but not too much that it's like in your face.
I enjoy the purple.
The purple?
Yeah,
the one I'm wearing now.
Yeah, but your potato camera can't see it. It just looks like dark brown. But this is a purple.
It's mauve.
This is a purple that's being used a few times now, yeah?
So it's similar to our purple, but it's a darker shade. So it's similar to the socks and the hoodie and the shirt, but as opposed to being a tie-dye and a lighter print, it's a much more bold pastel kind of flavor to the purple.
Yeah.
I think it's mauve or whatever the...
Mauve?
Mauve?
Mauve.
Mauve.
Mauve, mate.
At Lowe's. Oh man, I explained At Lowe's to Guido the other day. So good. At Lowe's.
Oh, because he would have never watched TV.
In Australia at that age, no, yeah, 100%. I mean, that is something that's definitely lost in modern Australian society is At Lowe's. What, they've got 45% off on these suits? No worries, Jerry. Oh, I'm gonna... That style of advertising is dead. We should bring it back. Come on the podcast today. What, Jarran? On the podcast tonight. At Lowe's.
At Aussie, we'll save you.
We'll save you.
Oh, God.
Bogan just doesn't sell the way it used to, Bogan isn't sexy anymore.
No.
Remember, like, where the bloody hell are ya?
Yeah, well.
I think we did that last week, actually.
Yeah, I think we did. Good.
Jarran, we're repeating information. Oh, did I speak on getting pulled up by the cops last week? I think.
Yeah, you did.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, I can put a little thing up my nose.
That was fun. The Tempest Onlines are out again, so people are submitting to that.
Can we look?
Mm-hmm.
Sick.
I don't know if you can actually see on the Tempest account. Where we go? But here's some pre-aforementioned. Wait, pre-aforementioned? No. Here's some pre-mentionables from Dom Tomato. So Jarran Ludi, first one. Jarran Ludi, Jar.
Oh, are they going to have them on their own?
Yes, everyone's got them on their own accounts.
All right. ED or AD?
OD.
OD. Oh.
Yeah.
He OD'd.
Yeah, that one.
Ludi.
The sheriff.
The sheriff. He is the sheriff?
I don't know. Apparently.
Yeah, the sheriff. All right.
I mean, OG. Remember when everyone in Parkville used to have a nickname like Tim Livewire Sheaf?
I was about to bring up
Paul
Tim.
Blue Dunnell. Blue is just blue though. It sounds weird to say Paul Dunnell.
So yeah, this is for the
Tempest one.
Yeah.
So, not to discredit this line from Jarran that is super laggy on my end, but I feel like he's put in some stronger lines for the Tempest pre-running competitions previously. This one is super smooth and flawless, and I like that it didn't look like it took him like any sweat. Like it looks like he's just chilling in second gear the whole time. Even the way he finishes and just walks off, like, yeah, I'm done. That's something that's real. Like there's no beats missed, really, really clean, and like, you know, difficult moves thrown together, but not as kind of difficult as some of the other runs that he's seen before.
Yeah. I actually really like that. I don't know, it's like a side backflip thing. The way he just kind of pops off that wall. Oh, side wall flip, sorry. So this.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's more common than you think nowadays. All it is you do a wall flip like you would normally, but instead of looking back over your nose, you look over your shoulder.
Yeah.
And that just tilts you off to the side.
Yeah.
It takes a bit of practice.
He just pops it really nice.
Yeah, I mean, Jarran has exceptional amounts of power, so he's able to just kind of put that through his movement. Next up is Yasin.
Oh, spell it.
YASIN_HEM. That one.
Num, 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 num.
Isn't that creepy? I feel like that Instagram could hear me through your microphone or whatever, and then did it. So it should be.
I don't
think it's that one. I think it's that one. Yeah.
Everything's been like color graded a little bit better.
Boom. So yeah, it starts with Congainer round off double back. So instantly, like OP level has been achieved on concrete as well. Comes around. There's a few more connection movements that don't need to be there than usual. Like in my opinion, this is like, obviously I can't do half this shit, and I shouldn't be talking at all about that. But if I was going to come from a judgment standpoint, I would say this. I'm not trying to say that I could.
Well, yeah, it's a little looser, but everything that he does.
Like, yeah, so like the level is ridiculous, and up until this point, there's a few just little missteps.
Exactly.
But the total package is unbelievable. I believe that this is probably the winning run if I was gonna, call it early without seeing very many runs at all. I think I've seen like 5, but this Yasin is just on an insane level. The only problem I see arising for him is that he does tend to like have quite a few injuries popping up. Well, I mean, from his perception, he always talks about his injuries and like him battling through and pushing through. And I just don't want him to hurt himself permanently
he's
by
like
doing
up
damage.
there. Like,
you got to think about the people with explosive power like this. Like, it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but like your body's doing such insane things that it's got to be hard for your body to keep up. Like for me, it's been a slow build to get to that stage, and I still wouldn't even say I'm that explosively powerful. So my body's not putting itself through stress every time it explodes like that. You know what I mean? But imagine you have too much. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like too much gunpowder. Would that be a thing?
Yep.
And then it's like, it's like it's almost damaging the gun because the shot is more powerful. And then I saw also, what is the name that I'm trying to think of right now? Why am I blanking on this? From the UK, the chick from the gym. It starts with E, I believe. Why am I blanking on this?
Chick with an E.
Yeah, definitely blanking on this. If you go to Keelan's story, both I'm fully just blanking on names right now. Elise Bickley, that's it. Elise Bickley. I knew it started. I was just like, for some reason, I had like LR stuck in my head, and I couldn't get like to Elise.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is Elise's run here. Very good, clean line. Yep.
Totally right.
But what I like about this line is the use of space, and also the redirects without like seamless redirects. Boom. So like, it's not the hardest tricks that Elise can do, but the connectivity of this is pretty insane. There's not a single misbeat from when she begins to when she ends.
Yep.
Bong, roll. As the roll comes out, she steps into the cork. Boom. Hilarious caption as well. I'm not happy with it, but I don't think I ever will be.
Like,
just like classic parkour mentality. Like, yeah, this is. I'll just take it. This is the one. I just, I wanted more, but this is what I got on the day. So here you go.
yeah. Like, I think that side landed a bit heavy.
Which side? The one up?
Yeah, the one up, because
it was a side up. Yeah, out of I believe 3 or 4 steps, like not a lot of speed. Bump, bump, bump. Yeah, 1 and 2 gather steps. So it's harder than you might think to slide up things, folks. Yeah, there's a lot of technical aspects to that are chucked in there.
Yeah, definitely.
I would say Camilla has a line, I believe.
Yeah,
as well.
Camilla. Don't know who.
I think there it is. Camilla Stefano. Oh, you lost it.
There it
is.
Good. I like her little thing, because that's exactly who she is. That thing.
Yeah, I mean, the Modus characters have been great. Their new, like, content, clothing, releases have been really on point. And to me, I haven't been a bigger fan of the latest series of, like, Fortune or Misfortune. Like, I like it. It's like, I can watch it and have a laugh about it, but I find myself less engaged than the other training videos and that sort of thing, team training. But you've got to stretch and create new avenues, otherwise you'll never know. You don't try these things.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the last post, but I may be incorrect. We'll look. No, it's not. But let's just watch Camilla's training from the week anyway, because now we're here.
So what, is she hanging out with Modus at the moment, or what? What's going
on? No, read the caption. It's on the team training video, that's right. Yeah, so I mistook TT and Keelan's story for Tempest because I don't read things. But so this leads into what I was saying just before about the Modus making team training videos. And so basically they get their athletes to make vlog splices, moments from their training throughout the week or whatever it may be, wherever they are on a certain day, and just send that footage across. And then they make a nice video of what's been happening with all the teammates throughout the week, which is really cool. Oh, that was cool.
All right, so wait, she's not in the Tempest.
I don't think she's added one yet.
Okay, well, this looks big.
But you know what? Oi, yes, please. I was gonna say, now you can add one, Camilla. If you hear this is your call out to make a Tempest online run.
She looks like she's on those parkour vibes at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, she's always more based in the, like, the parkour technique stuff than in the free running flippy flashy. Whoa, hello guy. Yeah, which I think is sick to see, because the more girls that take on that aspect and really get in touch with the jumping side of the movement, the like kind of original ingredients and aspect of the sport, the more we'll see huge improvements.
Yeah, it's true. And that's the thing, is that Camilla always has just like mad flow, where it's like, it's not, it's like, if you saw a free running girl do an aerial, you're like,
in 2007, now it's a totally different fucking thing.
But that was just a little bit sarcastic, because they've been doing that since they were 7. Like, most girls can just kind of just pop out.
I'm not going to jump onto your generalizing, because I don't believe that is the case.
Fine. Be like that.
I don't have any
I'll-
bants to make around the subject. This is a really good thing.
All right. Do we want to look at anyone else's stuff?
I don't know who else has made submissions, but if somebody you know has made a submission, you can put it in the comments, and then Jarran will show you as we go through the viewers' questions and so on and so forth.
Yes. Or
I mean,
I just do. Go
hashtag,
back.
I think it's hashtag Tempest Online.
Yeah.
Haha, you have to press back so many times.
Hey, you know what? Shut up.
You still go back. Hey, don't go back too far. You went back too far.
There's a.
Tempest Online, so there it is.
It's Tombstone.
Yeah, it's crazy how like unaware it's crazy how unaware I am about how to use Instagram for someone who
Does Instagram?
has mostly made a career on Instagram. Most recent, there we go. Check out some of them.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Noah's one's there. See that one with Noah flipping in the middle? Yeah.
That?
Yep. Boop, 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 boom, boom. For the sake of competition, we'll stack it up next to Elise's line and see what you think. Doop, 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 boop, boop. Whoa, that's a tough one. I mean, literally, they both have a flawless connection. I'd say Elise's connections were slightly better. There's like Noah's flow is fast, which means that like it hides some of like this part here where she has to just turn around and run. Like she did land perfectly and just start running in the right position, but the choreography of the actual line doesn't have the same as Elise's kind of cartwheel to step flow.
Yep.
Like there's a bit more, I don't know how to say, like grace to that other one. But this is a punchy line. This is really well put together, really well done.
I like the spring into that. Like
boom, boom.
that last flip was good.
It might just also be because of how it's captured. But I find this one slightly more captivating. Like this would
Well,
would
it's
probably
also
get my
a
vote
really
between the two.
cool spot.
Yeah,
Have
but
you
that
been
shouldn't
to
really
that
take
spot?
into effect. When it comes
from the
to,
line. I get it.
Yeah, you really try to. I try to imagine just like generic blocks and just people using them.
Yeah.
Really just try to look at the movement that's happening. Let's look at some of the other ones. Let's look at the top middle just because we looked at the second middle.
Okay.
Let's see, bro. Here's Tempest on lines. Here's your shot. High dot parkour. Hey, I can relate. Boom, but oh, that's cool. See this? This is faster. Okay, that's why. Oof. Oh, all right.
Nice.
That was that's his, his submission's great. I mean, so if you look at the bottom left corner there, you can see his actual tag. So if you guys want to go and support him or vote for him, keep an eye out for Foster V Cuddy. Boom. But who's doing scoot double back, man? That's so chill.
Yeah.
Like he's just got. You can see by his standing side at the start, he's just got an insane amount of power.
Mm-hmm.
Like just boop boop, you know. And then he takes a moment, comes up, boom, stomped it perfectly. Love that. That was fantastic. All right, let's look at another one in case it was this good. Okay, yep, that's great so far. Okay, oh wow. Double
That
cork.
guy has
Oh, I believe I just saw him completely land on his knees again. Oh. I mean, it might be the up speed that I'm watching in the buffering, but I believe this double cork is just all knees.
It's
That's
all
completely knees.
Yeah.
Bruh. Ule.
He just wants
Bro.
to send it, man.
Happy to combine my best tricks in a line, but flow and execution could be better. So he's aware. He's aware. Look, solid effort, man. Solid
like
effort.
this, like
I know what it's like to try and bash your hardest tricks in a line. Like the ones that you find the hardest to do in a line. It's so nuts, man.
mm-hmm.
Doing them back to back and then trying to continue out and being able to nail the double side at the end, at least to roll out, is really well done.
Yeah.
This is what I like about the Tempest comps is you get this type of line here where, a little spicy, you know what I mean? Like he's not going too hard and doing anything massive, but everything he's doing is really technical and really spicy.
Yeah.
Like real, like this scoot up to full on a rail, that's not like the easiest thing to do. And he pulls it straight around into that low ass gate.
This
So,
side here is just
dup, dup, dup.
yeah
But from the inside rail,
yeah. It's
that
just
little
so
technical
nice.
aspect to sell it. I mean, Nate Weston and Joe Scandrett love a good side from behind the rail. And we saw I think we reviewed Christian Kolowensky's 3-run Koval's double side from behind the rail when he did it in the other Tempest line, which was nuts.
This is the worst filmed video ever.
No, I think that's just the rendering.
No,
Also,
he's been like flipping out of frame most of the video.
nah, oh yeah, the top there. Not really. That's just because it's too close there. And yeah, it's just at the top, but that's all right. That happens. That's not his fault. So I mean, this guy has a lot of tricks, but I feel like I see this with a lot of younger freerunners. The way they pick lines and the way they choose lines is quite interesting because see those missteps there, like everything was kind of flawless until he decided to run up for the gainer, and then he changed, like everything starts to do these direction changes that don't necessarily need to be there. Also, he's kind of let down by the spot he's chosen to use for the run. Like he's doing so many good tricks and so much solid connections, but he's using a lump in the middle of the ground with the ball at the end.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if he, I don't, you know, obviously I'm not saying
there's
your
that
spot's shit,
there's
but
a
it's
car
like
park entrance
if you had
there.
an option to pick for a better spot where you could have probably, you know, amplified your level a bit more and shown off your capabilities, it would have done you
like
favors.
There's one there. It literally looks like at the back there's a good spot.
Yeah, and I think that's where, because people have a different variety of tricks, see how a lot of his tricks are ground based.
Mm-hmm.
He's more comfortable going to a spot like this where he can come up with stuff on the blocks. Yes, Christine. Christine's like, you know, battled with injury. You know, she came back. I think she broke her leg and then came back and then broke her foot or something, vice versa, or that. So now to see her back just absolutely flowing. And to top it all off, she just got engaged to Max. So that's very cute. Another parkour love story.
Her style reminds me of Lizzie.
Lizzie?
I don't know. She was a Matera. She stayed at my place. I'm sorry.
Lizzie.
Lizzie.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is probably one of the smoothest lines I've seen from her. There's like literally, and it's so light, and there's no real missteps in the whole thing, which is so great to see.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to struggle against other lines in the sense of like trick level, because some people are busting out harder tricks in the female thing. But as an overall package, this is a strong line. It should stand on like execution, flow, fantastic, creativity, and user space are great. So yeah. All around 10 points. And yeah, congratulations to Aaron and Max. That's actually, they're like two really super genuine, super lovely people. And
which
really
Max
nice
is this? Max Barker?
Yeah, Max Barker. No, it's USA Max. Why am I blanking on names today? Last name Max. Not Ward. He's the good Max too. Max Henry. That's the one. So many Maxes do parkour. Max Henry. So he's a wizard technician from America, one of the OG like actual tracers as opposed to parkour Americans. Yeah. This guy's run is cool. There's just something about the way he kind of climbs up stuff and lands his flips that just weakens the rest of his kind of like, I feel like he looked pretty unaware of that roll, but all in all, it's very fast paced and it's like high level of tricks. Look, round off double full, up. So a little redirect there. It's like something Pedro and Segaldo and I talk about is when you don't really, like you're just putting the round off double full at the start of your line for the sake of putting a round off double full at your line. It doesn't make sense anywhere in the piece. You didn't do it towards the wall so that you could step out in a way where you kind of like collected the wall and caught up with it.
Yeah,
It's all about with these lines really making sense, and that's what the both the girls we've seen
they
have
put
done is
lines
they've really
together
connect. What you can say?
they put lines together that really like told a story. Like
Yeah, they
connected.
used the spot well, and they didn't take these steps that had to redirect their positions, or if they did it in a flawless way. I think a lot of the guys really tend to focus on how many hard tricks can I put in one line, and that
Yeah.
isn't necessarily what the judges are looking for. It is really about that total package, and that's why you see sometimes more technical lines that maybe don't have as much crazy shit in them go further. Next do. We'll do one more and then we'll field questions from the peoples.
Cool. All right. Should we find like I don't know. Let's find like a thing. One that looks
If you
like
get too far back, then you think I'm happy to review any, man. I'm not a elitist in any way. The one you were on, look there. This one on the bottom, middle right there, where the cursor is.
that.
Up.
That?
There we go. Brandon free run. Brandon hook. But
No, what?
but boom. But round swivel down. This one's great.
This is exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah, the only thing about it is I wish that he hadn't done that little swivel kick on the wall. This is where sometimes modern free running, I'm just like, oh man, if that was just a palm spin. Look, ready, lazy, to step palm spin into that would have just made it 10 times more, or like even corner lazy would have made it 10 times more cool than kicking the wall in a little shape. And this is what things that people that can sell that stuff like Pasha and Archie have kind of put into other people's minds that it's acceptable, but it's like you can't pull it off with the same swagger that they do. And I love Brandon. He's got huge amounts of talent, huge amounts of style. And this is probably, again, one of the most connected lines I've ever seen from him. So I'm not taking anything away from that. It's just, I even made the mistake in one of the Art of Motion qualifiers of like just doing a stupid wall angle trick instead of doing a wall flip. And it's like, that lost me points.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just loses you points. It's not as cool as it's not as valuable as other shit in a way.
I love this redirect that he does coming out of this thing. So he does the backflip and then he's like whips his
arms around for the Kong.
He's just like, bam, I'm straight into it.
Yeah. It's a nice way of redirecting and retransferring that momentum. I always find it hard to like place my backflip. See, I just placed it in the position for the Kong. I always find it hard to do that. I either like place it in the right position, but then whip my body around too much, so I'm falling away from it, or I do it in the wrong position that I can't reach it.
Yeah.
So it's good in that way. All right, let's have a look through questions from people and see what they have to say.
All right.
Or don't.
All right. Questions from the audience. Intro music.
Oh,
go.
Also, just before we do this, these people who like asking questions, the lowest level of Patreon tier will be just there accessible for you. And it pretty much made it so that because we're going to be streaming the podcast live on Patreon and then uploading them to YouTube later. So if you want to have these questions, have these, catch this live and be part of the podcast itself, then you can just bottom tier up and get that done. But I'll explain that more to you later as that all unfolds. For now, answering questions.
Answering questions. Da-na-na. All right. Where's the first question mark? Sab to sad, guys. I don't know what that means. All right. Good.
Sub for sub.
Oh, maybe it was sub for sub. Maybe I'm just going like full blind. Yeah, I don't know. All right. There was a good one here just then. A little bit of spam. And letzte Mal Thailand. Okay.
Is that Jarran, please.
Yeah, all right.
Have some decorum.
What's one of your worst injuries from Second Son 354?
Second Son 354. one of my worst injuries that I don't talk about as often was actually a rupture in the muscles beneath my clavicle and my back that actually rose this part of my shoulder up. So it's separated between my clavicle and my shoulder blade. This is something that I've seen a fair few athletes have. It only took me probably 2-3 months to recover from, and it didn't really give me trouble afterwards. But I know like Foskey has it. Eric did his shoulder at exactly the same time I did at the same competition. And if Alfred Scott's done it as well. Usually it comes from overloading on a roll and then forcing out the other way in my case. So I like overloaded on a roll and my shoulder was all bunched up. And then in the same run, I did a round off. And as I did the round off, I pushed really hard and I felt my shoulder just kind of stretch out like that. Yeah, that took a little while to get better from. And if you want to see the videos and how like the progression went from being able to train with it lightly to being able to train with it heavy, you can watch shoulder series 1, 2, and 3 on Crew 42 YouTube.
Boom! Shout out Crew 42. All right, Razmataz says, Dom, is 26 too late to learn to flip? I feel like my body isn't physically capable of that movement, and it's something you need to learn young.
No, it is not too young to learn how to flip. I had a friend of mine who started parkour at 24 or 25, so only a year younger, and was able to flip within 3 to 4 years, like competently on concrete every time. It's really about how much you want it, and then also really assessing your physical state, and then doing all the pre-work before you do something explosive and loading like a flip. So you'll have to do jump squats, you'll have to do plyometric training, you'll have to do like hanging crunches and stuff like that to really get your physicality up to the level it wants to be before it does flips. Because flips are this different set of muscles to your kind of average gym muscles or your average kind of running muscles. They're plyometric, explosive, like kind of, it feels like it's almost wiring. It's like, so you've got to have that range of motion and flexibility in that strength to be able to do those things. But no, it's not too old. You just have to try harder.
Yeah. Gotta get it done.
Gotta do it.
Alistair 15, is there any way I can send you a quick 50-second video to share your advice? Quick plug for the Patreon.
Yeah, well, Jarran just did it. But basically, yeah, in a few weeks, there'll be multiple ways that you can do that through, Patreon.
Okay. Prirana Samantha. Fuck, I'm killing names today. Are you an introvert or an extrovert?
Jarran?
I am the biggest introvert you will ever meet.
I think the concept of introvert and extrovert as one totalitarian personality trait is bogus. I believe everybody has traits of introvert and extrovert, and that we all are kind of more on a spectrum of if this is extrovert, this is introvert. We're on a spectrum, and we also move along that spectrum at different periods throughout our lives. There's definitely periods of time where I find myself, and most people who know me would be like, what? But I find myself being kind of wanting to be more of a hermit and closed away and isolated. But then in a social situation, I'll totally thrive and be the most extroverted person in the room. So I don't believe that it's necessarily such a thing. I think, yeah, we're just all inclined to both. And then it depends on the comfortability of the situation is how you're going to be.
Yes. That one.
I think about stuff sometimes. That's certainly one of those things that I've thought about quite a bit. Other than that, it's really concepts.
Well, if we're talking about spectrums, you're over here and maybe you go over there, but I kind of stay in this world.
Yeah, fair.
Wish I made like a little spectrum diagram here. Look, I can make it right now.
But I find Jarran in largely comfortable situations where it may be just a smaller, intimate group of people, but still a group of people. You can be somebody who is completely extroverted and meowing at people who you've never met before. So it's hard for you to say you're still on the spectrum when there is moments where you're there.
I think that it then is a case of how much energy does that take from you. See,
Yes.
I can turn on extroversion like right now, but my batteries will go down pretty fast.
So interesting you say that, because I found when I was working on this project and doing like 14 hours a day, where I was being my full extrovert self from the second I walk in that door to performing to the second I leave, I was so completely and utterly drained to the point where I just wanted to sit in a room in silence and look forward for like hours after I was done, and just like, which is so rare for me. But there is like a battery life on that shit, man. You just, if you're like, after like jams like For the Love of Movement and stuff, I usually have like a 12 to 16 hours sleep just to shut off from the world, and like usually before or after I'll start to go into this introverted space where I really just need to clear my head from socializing.
You've been peopled out.
Peopled out. Well said.
Yeah. All right. Strive PK. What camera do you use for filming?
I use a GoPro Hero 9. It's right here, actually. So I use GoPros because basically it means I can carry this around and nothing else. That's my main purpose for it. I usually like to take no more than a backpack or a bum bag to training. I don't look after my stuff. So as you can see, maybe when we get the right light on it, there's already cracks in the GoPro
Kind of had
screen. I've only had it for like, there we go. Hey, it's me. But for that moment, you could see there was cracks. But there's cracks in the back screen. With the GoPro Max that I was previously shooting on, I went through 6 of them. And that would be from the course of the time that the Max came out until the 9. I just take the latest model and I just use that. I'm not like attached to anything.
Well, where's the Max now?
Somewhere nearby.
Are you
under
done
my
with
beds.
3D videos now?
Oh, yeah. That trend came and went. Hey, I mean, I noticed some of the guys still using it for their media, but like, I mean, that really came and went fast. I think people weren't into the distortion. The novelty factor wore off, and then it became like, okay, I really just want my standard filmmaking again, or I just want my normal kind of shots.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I don't know. There was, yeah, I didn't see it being a hugely, like, I feel like if it was going to be used, it would be used more in the world of VR, where people can record things in 360 and then people can like whack the goggles on. So when people had to figure out how to do that as like a mainstream filming thing, where they can just film something and people can like get into the space that they're in, then maybe it will be more of a thing.
Well, I would really like to eventually have something that's basically hanging down from my studio, and you just have multiple camera angles that are live streaming. And one of those is you can literally be above my head looking at what I'm doing in the studio.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us, damn it.
What is it doing? Ivy.
Questions.
Someone got the name Ivy. Good on you. How much time it took you to learn your first flip trick? You're already doing those.
I mean, it's a 3-4 pronged answer. So I did gymnastics when I was a kid, but I didn't actually get to the stage where they let me do any flips. I could do like moves on the bar and a round off, but I couldn't do anything like flip base. Then when I was 13, I just tried one in the gym by myself when I was out with some other people in the gym. That worked. And then when I was 15, it probably took me a really small amount of time to try it. Within maybe 2 or 3 training sessions, I tried backflip and front flip because I'd previously tried them on like trampoline and stuff. But to really land them and to really know what I was doing, it took me a good couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, of doing them daily to get the timing down and the awareness. And I was 15 as well, so it was like I could bash myself into the ground a whole bunch of times without hurting and without feeling it the next day.
You did.
Yeah.
Lucky
Trial by
Live.
fire.
Lucky Live says no link for Patreon? ?
Not yet.
Where's the link, man? Where's the link?
Dude, I'm still putting it together. I don't want to launch it without being ready. Also, I'm not rushing anything. This is a new endeavor. And for once, I'm doing my research. Actually try and make sure that I bring the best service to those people who are going to be investing because it's completely on my back.
Yeah, you gotta bring that value. And you will,
Yeah.
I know, because the one thing that you do, apart from have long hair and do front flips, is that you care. That's the big thing.
Don't tell people that. Then they'll expect that from me. I like to pretend like I don't, Jarran. Yeah, you've totally ruined my whole marketing
Oh,
spiel.
you're like, oh shit.
Now I have to care because people know that I care. God damn it.
You care about the sport, and you care about all the little chillins. Except they're not.
And I care about all the people involved in the sport. That's a big one for me. That's like my extended family. You know, there's people who really like live and breathe parkour. They're my brethren. You know.
Yeah, of course.
Looking out for them folks.
All right. This is a question, I think, because it has a question mark at the end. Jason Gatham. How can I be a parkour person while I have nothing like no gym, no training, no friends, no good food, not even something?
So to be a parkour person, it's as simple as it sounds. You need to just do parkour. If that's by yourself, if that's once a week, if that's once a month, if that's without friends, if that's, you know, on a gutter, you trying to learn how to backflip, but you're doing it in the volition of wanting to do parkour, you're still a parkour person. If you just apply yourself to trying to train parkour or trying to practice parkour, even if playing with parkour is acceptable, you're still a parkour person because you've taken the initiative to kind of take upon the self-discipline and journey of getting better at jumping. So you're a parkour person.
You're so sweet.
Accept it.
Even if you don't have shoes, there are people doing crazy things without shoes.
I'm literally training without shoes like a couple of times a week at the moment to really like bonify my bones.
Bonify my bones.
Bonify me bones in my feet, you know. Sure, if I don't bonify those bones, who's going to bonify them? Bonafide. Bonafide. You've got to say, you just want to say bonafide. Admit it.
That I already did, so I'm good.
Bonafidely.
All right, Ferdinand Winkler. You recently trained with E.J. Dillon and Brody from Brizzy. Did they visit you in Sydney?
Yes, they did. They were working on a similar project with me. Same project with me, actually.
Yeah.
But I just want to get back to the fact that your name is Fernando. Is it Fernando?
Ferdinand.
Ferdinand. Come on, man. That's a hectic name. You're already winning at life. That's like, wasn't there like an artist or a song?
Franz Ferdinand.
Franz
and
Ferdinand.
Also an Archduke of Austria called... who Franz Ferdinand was named after. Cause
who cares about Dylan, EJ, and Brody when your name is Ferdinand, bro? You should be my friend.
He was the reason for the start of World War One.
Not this guy.
Trivia. No,
not this guy.
This guy.
Oh my god, bro, we can't be friends. How dare you? Yeah, Ferdinand is up there in pretty damn good names that I would like to have in my friendship group. So, you know, Ferdinand, just hit me up, bro. We can be mates. Just clearly on the fact that your name is Ferdinand. Because I can't even say it. That's how good it is.
Yes.
Whoa,
Exactly.
Black Betty, Ferdinand. Whoa, Black Betty, Ferdinand. That's not really the song, Ferdinand. We're gonna get
That's
copyright.
actually that's around the same era.
She's all Rox Betty, Ferdinand. Whoa, Rock Betty.
Well, at least the Spider Bait version was, because it's an old blues song, so it's like hundreds of years old now.
Yeah,
Anyhow,
see, I only know the Spider-Bait version because I'm not cultured, mate.
Anyhow, I've been reading the questions ahead, so
Oh, shit.
I'm probably gonna take this next question a little further, which is Murali Payali. Not fucked that one up. Palayil. Murali Palayil. There you go. Hi Dom. Last time I asked you about the wrist injury, You told me to be vigilant about wrist rehab exercises, and I did that. It hasn't really gotten better. I also applied some ointment. Am I impatient? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about this last week. This is do it for 3 months every day.
Oh, did we
And
talk
then-
about that last week?
I believe it was last week or 2 weeks.
I thought it was like a few months ago or something.
No. This is a weekly thing. So, what you need to do is like be vigilant for an extended period of time. It may even take your wrists longer than you think. So I hurt my wrist like minor, and then I got on like rehab straight away, and it was coming back from doing that multiple times. Like when they first were stagnant, it took 4 months for them to feel comfortable, like doing handstands. Maybe 6 months for me to do like dive kongs. Like that's a long period of time of really applying yourself. But that's the only way to do it. You can't be impatient. You have to just keep doing it. And I would say do it with no time goal. And then one day you'll wake up and you're like, oh, my wrists are pretty good, man. Like my wrists now, I'm like pretty comfortable. They don't hurt that much. But like that's only this year still that they've gotten to that stage. You have to stay vigilant for an extended period of time. And that's like with anybody. Like I get a lot of people who are like, I want to go pro. It's like, yeah, we'll do parkour for like 10 years. And then you know whether you're
10,000 hours. 10,000 hours of anything.
Anything.
All right, so here's my thing for that.
Okay.
Go get some sex toys. Oh, for people watching, so I've got all the so this first thing is called a power ball, and it's basically a gyroscopic ball that rolls that way, and it also rolls the other way. What this does is it makes a centrifugal force and puts your wrist through dynamic tension. So it goes, and you'll see it's going that way while spinning the other way. Like, I don't even know what those things are. Whatever. But you can see it's doing that.
I think I prefer the podcast without headphones, to be honest. I think all our viewers should listen to our podcast without sound.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, No,
just listen to it. Just stream it, listening. Don't watch. Just put it on silent. It's the best our podcast has sounded to me so far.
I
took my headphones off and I couldn't hear you at all.
Good.
And I was like,
good.
This is amazing.
Thank you for spelling
Shitting
it out.
On the podcast.
No, just spelling it out for me. Sometimes I need that. Anyhow, so this will help with getting more like synovial fluid and just moving your wrists around. This little guy, most rock climbers use this, and basically fits over your fingers, and it works your extensor muscles as opposed to your gripping muscles. So you go bloop, 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 and you get all the strong on that. And that's the answer that I have. Dom's was possibly better, but I just wanted to show and tell. I like show and tell. He wanted to show his umbrella.
I just wanted to get carried away in the background. I was thinking about a concept for a TV show. So if someone was to give me money for a pilot, I'll totally shoot it. $10 script, basic, run of the mill, like, what do you call it? Soap opera TV, you know what I mean? Just your standard TV show about, people in the town, whatever. But all of the extras that you hire are pretty much allowed to do anything they want in the back of the scene as long as it doesn't like interfere with the actors. And you just hire like stunties and like influencers and whoever you want each, hire a bunch of fucking clowns. And, you just play it out in soft focus in the background. And they're just doing insane stuff. Norm's like, yeah, Jimmy and Barbie were down at the lake the other day and blah, blah, blah. And there's just going on in the background. You just watch it for the Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Watch it for the Easter eggs. You have like celebrity cameos, all that sort of thing. But just all in the background. Not the primary focus ever. Primary focus is like 3 really bad actors. Give me money for this pilot.
You go, Dom. Look, it went from a spectrum to money.
If you put that on the internet, then that'll work. Just scan that into the Bitcoin.
Yeah, is Bitcoin.
Scan it in. Make it happen. I'll get paid.
It's a million Bitcoins.
Oh, splooge. That's what it says to me.
It kind of does. Shit, there's a whole bunch of other people
Asking things.
Yeah, asking all the things. It's kind of, there's this little surge, like as we're getting closer to the end, there's always a surge of questions.
I think that's because we start answering questions, so people are like, it's my opportunity now. So what we should do is answer a few questions at the start, get that surge, and then, yeah. All right, next week we got a new pattern, folks. We're coming back at you, all for you, the viewer.
Good.
The consumer.
All right, adventurous lad. Would you ever come to Dublin, Ireland, once the corona shite settles down? There's a lovely...
really. I would. I do want to go to Ireland.
Ireland. All right. I'm Korean. I bought that Team Farang hoodie and T-shirt. Bam. You win. You win, Korean parkour team youth.
Not a question.
Jason Gantham says, I have knee osteoarthritis. How can I heal that?
Seek professional help, bro. I just do parkour.
That's a little bit beyond our scope. I could tell you a whole bunch of bullshit, but look into lowering your inflammation. But if you got it, you got it. I've got arthritis in both of my ankles now because I'm an old man. Yep. Oh yes. So our wrist guy says he is idiotic and impatient. You are okay. You are okay. The universe loves you.
Mate, you're fine. If you don't know about this stuff, it's hard to not see. And a week feels like forever. I mean, I looked back at this month and I was like, oh my God, that feels like a year ago. Like, so much happens in a week that, yeah, it's hard for you to be patient during that time and not think, oh, this has been eternity. I want to use my wrists. I get it. You're not, abnormal. That just happens. Patience is a virtue. They do say that.
Harry Gabe has asked, hey, Jarran, can you play a song on the piano, please? No. All right. All right. Ferdinand Winkler again. Kevin Franzen.
Winkler. How did I pass over the fact that dude, you have a cool name.
Yeah, it's a very cool name.
Ferdinand Winkler. Bro.
But whoever Kevin Franzen is,
yeah,
he just uploaded his first Adolf outside. What's an Adolf?
It's a Rudy, but with 3.5 spins instead of 1.5 spins.
I see. He just did that.
You could bring it up on Instagram.
Who is Kevin Franzen?
Well, if you type in Kevin Franzen to Instagram, I'm sure it'll show you. There it is, Kevin Franzen 01, because he's 19 years old. Here he goes. Jarran, get in first with the comments. Comment, we're featuring you on the podcast right now.
We are featuring you on the podcast.
1, 2, 3.5.
No. Right. Meow. Oh, I'm so funny.
Yes, you smashed it, bro. Do you know what? It's not meant to be that easy, Kevin. Just so you're aware, when you do it, it shouldn't look that simple. That was incredible. It's just like he's just G-tramping on ground. Look. Brrr. It's too many spins. That's more spins than I ever did on ice skates. And I stood upright when I did that. Brrr.
Damn.
Quality. Yeah, thanks. All right, back to questions. Finish this thing off.
Finish off the questions, eh?
Finish him!
All right. Hey, Dr. Dumb, I have syphilis. How can I fix that?
Basically, you get this thing called hydrochloric acid and you pour it down your pants.
Yep.
But also seek professional help.
Maybe, yeah. All right.
I've only got gonorrhea, so I don't know.
Ollie, would you come back down to Brighton to train after COVID?
Oh, hell yeah. Brighton's one of my favorite places to train. The community there and the spots are just...
Has you ever trained at places like Hastings and Eastbourne?
I think so. I have trained at places like that, definitely, but Hastings and Eastbourne, I can't quite remember if I have been there specifically or not. I feel like I have been to Hastings, but maybe it's just because a lot of people talk about Hastings.
Yeah. Tyler Hunt, have you any tips on learning the Cork? I've attempted it, but wanted to know if you have any tips.
Ride your kick up for a long time, because I still don't do that enough, and let your like kick with the hip and the knee, don't kick with the foot. That way you'll actually extend upwards, and yeah, smell your own armpit, Jarran.
Yeah, it smells like
For those of you who are just listening in now and not viewing on the screen, Jarran is smelling his own armpit.
That's what I do. Right. Harry Gabe again with "Wow, Shut Down." Please play a song on the piano. No.
Maybe next week.
It takes time to set
I'll
up.
twist his nipples, and then next week he'll play you a song on the piano. It's called Harry Gabe, the Magician of Wonder and God.
Yep.
That's the song he's been writing. He was telling me. He was playing it for me earlier.
It's basically what I do, is I write songs about people who are full of wonder and magic. Yeah.
And while you drink scotch.
It's tea.
Shh.
I'm not this cool. I've got all this alcohol and I just don't drink it.
No.
All right. Super strange way to put it, but I guess that's because you have an X in your last name. I'll try and pronounce it anyway. It's Ekane Etexiberia. Yep, I got that wrong.
Nailed it.
Would not having fear be better to humans? Oh no, that makes a lot of sense.
No.
Yeah, no, you want that.
You need fear to survive, dude.
Yeah, that's...
Fear helps us, like, as people, as a human race, survive.
Yeah, it's the same as not having pain. There's a reason that pain and fear exist in the human experience.
Yeah, well, they're like indicators.
They keep you safe.
Do you think people could have less fear? Yes, but do you think fear altogether is bad? No, fear is it's there.
There wouldn't be courage and bravery if there wasn't fear.
Exactly.
And you need that. You need
that. If everything was fearless, nothing would be.
Oh, we're quoting The Incredibles now, aren't we? Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Probably.
Yeah.
Subconsciously.
Well, I know how much you love to reference
things. Oh, yeah, the special thing. If everyone's special, no one is.
See, now you know what's up. All right.
Yeah.
So last question, adventurous lad, have you ever changed your approach and the way you train in a major way because of an injury, or would you rather get back to doing it the same way as before the injury?
I think I thought I have tried it different ways, and attacks training. I mean, every time I'm training with soreness or injury or any sort of ailment, I always seem to train a little bit differently anyway and do things outside of the box. But I would be lying if I said that I didn't end up just reverting to default and doing what Dom does, because Dom, it's just what I enjoy. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to, as much as I have goals and stuff like that in training, I'm not trying to do it a certain way. I'm just literally riffing it when I get out there. I'm like, this feels good, I'll do that. I'm inspired by this, I'll try that. There's no real switch up in the way that I attack the discipline, maybe in just what the moves that I do. Yeah, I think that says pretty well. What a well-rounded way to end the
All right. So, seeing as that was a well-rounded way to end the show, I guess we'll end the show because he just went completely off air. So, tune in next week And I don't know what he's doing after the stream. So, everyone, thank you very much. And we will see you next week. Hopefully with Ed Scott. If not, we will be doing some more awesome stuff. Have a good week, y'all.